Hello, this is Ralph with another video, and I'm going to show you what's happened with our boat garden and our food forest in the making. Our cabbage has really taken off. I don't know how well this is going to turn out. I'm fighting the sun here, but you see I sprinkled it with a little bit of diatomaceous earth to kind of keep the bugs off of it. But no, we've got like two heads of cabbage coming on already. And I only planted this back in about second week of April, I think. So, I mean, it's really coming on strong. Strawberry plants, we started with 4, and I don't know how many we have right now, but they have been reproducing much faster than I thought they would. And we've already got some ripe berries right there. They're getting ready for picking. And cucumbers have been doing magnificently. And broccoli. Broccoli is doing great. Kale that I planted. Now I planted this. I've got marigolds growing up around it now. But yeah, the kale here, yeah, we've been eating off of that already, and I mean, it is just going really good. Now we've got some tomato plants coming up in the little baskets, and they're going to take a while, but yeah, I'm happy with the way they're turning out. Potatoes, I'm not sure what's happening with our potatoes. This is my first attempt, but it looks like they're starting to get rotten, so I think we may have an ant infestation there. So potatoes may not be as good a crop as I thought, but you know, live and learn. That's what we're doing here. I've got some diatomaceous earth that I put on those as well. Hopefully that'll clean up the ant problem. They say diatomaceous earth, ants don't like it. A lot of bugs don't like it. And it's good to fight against fleas. So yeah, we've just been using that on our vegetable crops and just trying to see what works. Now this field in here, this big green clump, that's radishes. And those are white radishes. I think they're daikons. And they are lovely. I mean, they mature, I think within 45 days is when I started picking those and eating them. And I mean, they're still coming on strong. So yeah, I'm very happy with that. And yeah, we may grow a few more crops of radish before the season is out. Now in here, we've got a little tiny sprout of ginger. I planted a couple ginger plants, ginger root. One ginger root was pretty well rotten, but it looks like they're coming in. So be very happy with that. We'll see what that looks like about end of summer. Now over here, we've got our cucumbers mixed in with a little bit of pepper and a bunch of pinto beans. And the pinto beans, I just bought them from the store, you know, regular dry beans that you eat. I just went ahead and planted a few to see what would happen, and they germinated quickly. I was really surprised, and they're starting to flower. They're putting on some pods, so we'll see what we get. So, and then our tall tomato plants. Here I'm trying an experiment. They say that tomato plants, some varieties of tomato plants, are indeterminates, meaning they will grow as tall as they're allowed to, given enough support. So I got a support system here that is about 7 foot high. So we'll see if by the end of summer we get 7 foot high tomato plants. These are the big boy tomatoes, so we'll see what happens. We do have deer, though, that have found their way into the backyard. They've been eating some of our flowers. So far, they haven't been bothering the tomatoes, but I'm just wondering how long my luck is going to hold on that. But yeah, in between the tomatoes, we got a pepper. So yeah, just getting a really great crop of tomatoes and peppers going. Now there's our dog. She just got a flea bath not too long ago, so she's recovering from that. Our salad garden here, we got a variety of red lettuce, white lettuce, and some stuff that I really can't identify, but I just had some old seed. I wasn't really sure what that seed was. I threw it in there. I know it's edible, but And it all tastes pretty good, and it's coming on fairly nice. Now, this is our pumpkin, and this I planted from seed, and this is growing magnificently. We'll see if we don't have some nice pumpkins by fall. And then we got a yellow wax bean over there. Show you just kind of the long term. That is our riverbank there. And this is an area that washed out over the years. And what I've been doing here is I've been laying landscape timbers at certain points where it looks like we could use a little bit of a water break, and been putting soil and compost. That's compost that I have around the pumpkin plant now, and that compost is pretty mulchy, so I'm hoping that will hold even in the heavy rains that we've been getting. And then I've just been putting up, throwing gravel in here, yard scraps, whatnot, and I'm going to cover that with a little bit of light soil, and then cover that with compost, and we'll see what we can get growing here. In this section here, this little bowl section that I created out of some rock and landscape timber, I went ahead and put some habanero pepper seeds in that. So again, we're supposed to be getting some rain later on this week, and I'm hoping that doesn't wash out, but I've taken precaution. I tried to shelter that with rock, just natural rock that I dug out of the yard and brought up out of the river, and got mulch all around it, and got compost laid and a little bit of dirt on top. So hopefully that's going to be a great growing medium for the habanero peppers. And yeah, this is just what we've been doing here, is just trying to nestle in, our plants with what's been growing here naturally. Just last year, what you're seeing now was just a big tangle of weeds, and I really didn't do anything with it. I just let it go. This season, I saw it was washing out, so I took out the weeds, laid landscape timbers, been hauling up rock by hand, just buckets of rock. We have a gravel deposit down by the riverbank, and been using that. And then we've been making our own compost, and been using that as kind of a top coat to create a fertile layer of soil. And we'll just see how well this all holds. If it holds this season, I'll be happy. And if it doesn't, it'll just wash right back to the river where it came from. So, no harm done. But hopefully, yeah, we're going to have a nice selection of vegetables in with just the wild plants. And the wild plants that we have here, we have a wild mint that I discovered, and it goes great in tea and coffee. And then we have a lot of yucca plants that have just been here for years and years and years. And I couldn't see them before because of the weeds, but yeah, they are coming on pretty darn strong right there. So what we're doing here is just mixing in the natural plants, the native plants, with the food crops that we want to get going. And we'll just see how well it goes. But just wanted to show that off while we have a little bit of nice weather. And we'll see how everything goes. I'll probably do another update in the next couple of weeks. We'll give these new plantings a chance to come on in. But overall, this food forest experiment has been successful. And yeah, we've been eating radishes out of the garden. We've been eating cabbage out of the garden already. Been eating kale out of the garden. And we're waiting for the tomatoes and the cucumbers to come on. And yeah, and strawberries, it looks like they will be the next to come on. So stay tuned for further updates. And until later, this is Ralph signing off, wishing you great success in your gardening wherever you happen to be doing it. Thanks for dropping by.